Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. Today, I want to speak directly to the chosen ones. Yes, you who are listening now. God is trying to talk to you at this very moment. This is not some ordinary message or vague feeling. It is urgent, direct, and powerful. Have you ever felt that quiet nudge inside? That whisper growing louder whenever you try to push it away? That's not just your imagination. It's the voice of the divine calling your name. Yet, how often do we get caught up in the noise of life, distracted by endless notifications, worries, or fleeting pleasures, missing the very words that could change everything? Imagine a lighthouse standing tall on a dark night, its beam cutting through the fog. That lighthouse is God's voice reaching out across the storms of your life. But what happens if you keep your eyes down or turn away? You risk crashing onto the rocks of regret. The world offers many distractions, and sometimes they seem more urgent than a spiritual call. But listen closely. This is no coincidence, no random coincidence, no accident. This is God's message, tailored for you for now. You might be wondering, why me? Why now? Because God never wastes a moment. He sees the battles you face, the burdens you carry, and the potential that lies within you waiting to be unleashed. The chosen ones are not immune to hardship, but they are distinguished by their ability to hear when God speaks, even if the voice is soft or the timing inconvenient. So I ask you, are you truly listening? Or are you tuning out the call that could redirect your entire life? What if ignoring this message means missing the doorway to your destiny? Stay with me as we explore why this moment matters so deeply, how God communicates with you, and what you must do to respond. Remember, the hour is urgent and the message is clear. God is trying to talk to you now. Don't miss it. In this critical moment, it's important to understand why God is reaching out to you now. Life has a way of pulling us in so many directions. Work, family, social obligations, endless distractions that fill our days and cloud our minds. But beneath the surface of this busy existence lies a deeper truth, a yearning, a spiritual restlessness that nothing in this world can fully satisfy. This is the soil where God's call takes root. God is not speaking to just anyone. He's reaching out to His chosen ones, those whose hearts still hold space for Him, even if they have wandered or felt lost. He sees your struggles, the silent battles no one else knows about, and He calls to you with love and urgency. But here is the challenge. Many of us are so entangled in the chaos of life that we barely notice this call. It gets drowned out by the noise of doubts, fears, and distractions. Think about it like this. If a parent's voice is urgent, but a child is wearing headphones, blasting music, the parent's call will go unheard. This is the reality many face today. The distractions of social media, entertainment, and worldly desires act like noise-canceling headphones, blocking out the divine voice. And the longer you wear those headphones, the harder it becomes to hear the truth that God is trying to reveal to you. But the good news is, God's voice is persistent. It is patient but firm. It comes as a gentle whisper in moments of silence, a sudden insight when you least expect it, or even a feeling of unease that prompts you to pause and reflect. Sometimes, this voice speaks through other people, through a verse of scripture, or through circumstances that shake your routine. Do not mistake this voice for coincidence or luck. This is a deliberate call, a divine intervention designed to wake you up. If you find yourself encountering repeated signs or thoughts that push you toward change, take heed. The universe is not random. It is a vast, intricately designed system where every event has meaning, especially when it concerns your spiritual growth. Ignoring this call is not without consequences. When the chosen ones turn away, they miss out on blessings meant to uplift their lives and their communities. They may experience a sense of spiritual emptiness, confusion, or even hardship that could have been softened or avoided had they responded earlier. But you have a choice right now. You can decide to take off those noise-canceling headphones and open your heart. You can stop letting temporary distractions drown out the eternal truths that God wants to share with you. This moment is your invitation to listen deeply, to quiet your mind, and to be receptive to the powerful message coming your way. Ask yourself honestly, how long have I been ignoring the signs? How often have I dismissed the whisper inside as mere coincidence? What am I risking by turning away now? This is not a time for complacency or delay. The clock is ticking, and God's message is urgent because your destiny depends on it. Let's journey together through understanding how this divine communication happens and what it means to truly listen. Because the call you hear today might just be the turning point you've been waiting for. Understanding how God communicates with His chosen is essential in recognizing the signs and responding correctly. God's voice is not always loud or obvious. In fact, many of His most profound messages come quietly, as whispers to the heart. It is in moments of stillness, when the noise of the world fades, that His guidance becomes clear. But this requires a certain readiness and openness from you. God speaks through your intuition, the deep inner knowing that sometimes surprises you. When you feel a sudden clarity or a strong pull toward a better path, that is often His hand guiding you. It might come as an unexpected idea, a comforting feeling during hardship, or even a sense of peace amid confusion. These moments are precious invitations to listen more attentively. Beyond your inner voice, God's messages can also come through signs in your surroundings. Maybe a verse from Scripture appears at just the right time, or a conversation with a stranger sparks a new understanding. Sometimes, it is a series of events that seem unrelated but together point toward a divine plan. Recognizing these signs requires you to slow down and reflect rather than rushing through life blindly. Witty as it may sound, in our modern world, distractions are like a relentless barrage of notifications, messages pinging every second that pull us away from what truly matters. The irony is that the one notification we desperately need, to reconnect with our Creator, often gets silenced first. But remember, God's messages are timeless and persistent. They don't give up easily. If you want to hear God clearly, you must create space in your life. This means setting aside moments for prayer, reflection, and dhikr, remembrance of God. These acts purify the heart and sharpen your spiritual senses, allowing you to tune into the divine frequency. It's like cleaning a dusty window so the sunlight can pour through. The chosen ones are not those who never stumble, but those who keep returning to this sacred connection, even when life gets busy or overwhelming. Their willingness to listen, to pause, and to reflect sets them apart. It is a spiritual discipline that builds strength and clarity over time. Ask yourself, have I made space in my day to listen? Or am I too caught up in worldly noise to hear the whisper of God? What small changes can I make today to open my heart more fully? These questions are the beginning of a deeper journey toward understanding and obedience. Remember, hearing God's voice is just the first step. The greater challenge lies in trusting it and acting on it. But the first step can only happen if you choose to listen now with sincerity and openness. The urgency of responding to God's call right now cannot be overstated. This is not a message to be put off or ignored because the consequences of delay are real and impactful. When God speaks, especially to the chosen ones, He offers an opening, a door to a new reality filled with blessings, guidance,
and purpose. But that door will not remain open forever. Think of this moment as standing at the edge of a great opportunity. It's like a train arriving at the station. If you miss it, you may have to wait a long time for another. Life's windows don't always stay open, and divine opportunities often come with timing that requires immediate action. The 3 days, the 3 moments, or the 3 signs you might be witnessing now are your signal to act. Many people procrastinate when it comes to spiritual matters, thinking, I'll get to it tomorrow, or maybe this isn't the right time. But in the realm of divine timing, tomorrow is never guaranteed. Every delay is a risk of missing out on breakthroughs that could change your entire life trajectory. Witty as it sounds, the only thing worse than failing is failing to try. Responding to this call doesn't mean you have to have all the answers or perfect faith right now. It means you take that first step, that sincere intention to seek, to listen, and to act. This first step often opens the door for more clarity and strength to follow. It is like planting a seed. You may not see the fruit immediately, but the process has begun. Ignoring God's call leaves the heart restless and the spirit heavy. It is like walking through a fog, unable to see the path clearly, prone to missteps and confusion. The chosen ones are called to rise above this fog, to seek the light actively, and to walk boldly toward their purpose. This requires urgency because hesitation can dull the spiritual senses and harden the heart. Ask yourself, are you willing to risk your future by ignoring this divine message? Or will you choose to act, trusting that even a small step taken in faith can lead to enormous blessings? The time to decide is now. Don't let fear or doubt delay your response. Remember, God's voice is not a distant echo, but a direct communication meant to transform your present and future. The longer you wait, the more you miss. But the moment you say, yes, I am ready, the entire universe begins to conspire in your favor. So lean in, pay attention. The door is open, but it won't be forever. The urgent message is here. Will you answer? When you finally answer God's call, the transformation that unfolds within you is profound and far-reaching. This is not just a spiritual awakening that stays locked within your heart. It begins to radiate outward, influencing every aspect of your life. The chosen ones who heed this urgent message find themselves stepping into a new reality, one where purpose, peace, and power align like never before. One of the first signs of this transformation is a deep, unshakable peace that replaces anxiety and confusion. It's the peace that surpasses all understanding, not a fleeting emotion, but a steadfast state anchored in knowing you are on the right path. This peace does not mean challenges vanish overnight. Rather, it means your soul has found a refuge amid the storms. You begin to face trials with a new strength because you understand that every hardship is a step closer to your destiny. Answering the call also reorients your relationships. People around you start to notice changes, the kindness in your speech, the patience in your actions, the wisdom in your decisions. Your connection with family, friends, and even strangers becomes more meaningful, as you walk with a heart that reflects the light of divine guidance. The chosen ones influence their communities positively, becoming beacons of hope and compassion. Opportunities you once missed or never saw begin to appear. Doors that were closed seem to open effortlessly, and your path becomes clearer. This is not mere luck. It is the divine favor bestowed upon those who listen and obey. You begin to realize that the universe is not random, but responsive to your sincere efforts to follow God's guidance. It's important to acknowledge that this transformation is not always comfortable. Sometimes God's call leads you away from familiar habits or relationships that no longer serve your growth. The discomfort you may feel is the refining fire that purifies your intentions and strengthens your resolve. Remember, diamonds are made under pressure, and the chosen ones emerge from trials more brilliant and resilient. You may also face moments of doubt and fear. This is normal. What matters is not the absence of fear, but the courage to move forward despite it. Trust becomes your compass. Trust in God's plan, even when the destination is unclear. Each step you take in faith brings you closer to the fullness of the blessings prepared for you. Imagine your life as a garden. Answering God's call is like planting seeds in fertile soil. With care, patience, and trust, those seeds grow into lush trees bearing fruit that nourishes not only you, but generations to come. This is the legacy of the chosen ones, the impact of a life fully surrendered to divine guidance. So what does it mean for you today? It means opening your heart without reservation. It means saying yes to the transformation God offers, even when the path is uncertain. It means believing that what lies ahead is greater than what you leave behind. Are you ready to embrace this new season, to step into a life where divine purpose unfolds daily? The choice is yours, and the blessings are waiting. Now that you have begun to understand the urgency and power of God's call, the next question is, how do you actively listen and obey? How do you open yourself to receive and respond to this divine message in a practical, meaningful way? The journey from hearing to doing is what transforms a whisper into a life-changing reality. This step is crucial because the chosen ones not only hear God, they act.
First, create intentional space in your daily life for reflection and connection. In today's fast-paced world, spiritual nourishment can easily be overshadowed by endless distractions. Set aside dedicated moments each day for prayer, meditation, and remembrance. These are not just rituals. They are the channels through which God's voice becomes clearer and your heart grows more receptive. Think of it as tuning a musical instrument. Without regular attention, the strings grow slack and out of harmony. Next, engage deeply with the Qur'an and authentic teachings. These are the primary sources through which God communicates His will. Reading with an open heart, seeking understanding beyond the words, allows the message to penetrate your soul. Do not rush through verses as if they are just text. Immerse yourself in their meanings, reflect on their relevance to your life, and let them guide your decisions. Knowledge alone is not enough. It must lead to action. Remember also the power of dhikr, the constant remembrance of God. Simple phrases repeated with sincerity can elevate your spiritual state and build a shield against the distractions that cloud your mind. Dhikr is like spiritual oxygen. It refreshes your soul and keeps your connection alive, even in the busiest moments. The chosen ones understand that spiritual awareness is sustained through regular remembrance. Another vital practice is surrounding yourself with a community that supports your growth. Isolation can dull your sensitivity to God's messages. Seek out companions who encourage sincerity, patience, and perseverance. Share your experiences, doubts, and victories with those who uplift rather than discourage. Remember, even the greatest prophets taught in community. Support is not weakness. It is a divine provision. As we reach the final step of this journey together, it is essential to reflect deeply on what has been shared and to embrace the path that lies ahead with courage and faith. The message you have heard, the urgent call from God, is not simply information to be stored and forgotten. It is a transformative invitation to step into your true destiny, to live as one of the chosen, empowered and guided by the divine.
Life's challenges may try to distract you, discourage you, or convince you that the path of faith is too difficult. But remember this: the chosen ones are not those who never fall. They are those who rise every time they stumble. They are those who, despite hardship, keep their hearts tuned to the divine frequency. Your willingness to listen and act today marks you as part of this noble group. Now is the time to make a decisive commitment. This is your moment to say yes to God's call, to open your heart fully, and to surrender to His wisdom and guidance. Know that by doing so, you align yourself with a power greater than any challenge you face. The struggles of the world may be many, but with God's support, your strength is multiplied beyond measure. Remember that your journey will not be solitary. The divine promise assures you that when you take these steps in sincerity, angels surround you, blessings flow in abundance, and doors open where once there were walls. You become a beacon, not only for yourself, but for others seeking light in darkness. As you walk forward, hold close the lessons of patience, perseverance, and trust. The road may not always be smooth, but each difficulty is a stepping stone toward your growth and ultimate success. Let every trial refine your character, deepen your faith, and increase your gratitude. In moments of doubt, return to the quiet space of prayer and reflection. Speak honestly with God. Share your fears, hopes, and dreams. There is power in vulnerability and strength in humility. Your sincerity opens channels for divine guidance and miracles. Now, I ask you to join me in prayer as we ask Allah to bless this path, to grant clarity, courage, and steadfastness to all who hear this message. May He protect you from distractions, guide your steps, and fill your heart with peace beyond understanding. O Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, we come before you humbled and hopeful, seeking your guidance and mercy. Grant us the strength to listen to your call without delay. Open our hearts to receive your wisdom with sincerity and faith. Bless us with patience when the path is difficult, and courage when fear arises. Fill our lives with your light, and make us instruments of your peace. Protect us from the distractions that cloud our minds and hearts. Sustain us in our journey toward you, and reward us abundantly for our efforts. Ameen.